talking with the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District here in Indiana, and that is David Capp. David, thanks for coming in today.
Good morning, Jim. Thanks for having me again.
You've been busy.
We have. We've been continuing our efforts on the criminal street gangs. We had a major announcement last week with the indictment of 3 more of the Imperial gangsters. We had a lengthy detention hearing yesterday in federal court against one of those Imperial gangsters, and he was held without bond, as have been all the rest of them.
So let's go back on this a little bit. I was there when you made the original announcement with Gus Flores out at East Chicago.
Right.
Des Alise and I came out there, and you had a lot of media there, and you actually had some family members of some guys who were reportedly murdered by some of these gangsters, and it was kind of a tense because I tried to interview a couple of them, and they got really mad, and then I realized they go, you know what, that's probably stepping over the line. Let them be. They're helping out the cops, but they don't need their names and pictures and that kind of thing. So, but you had a lot of law enforcement up there.
Right.
And it was one of the bigger busts around here in some time, and you guys have been working on this. And I think at the time it was 12, right?
Correct.
A lot of murders that had been unsolved around here.
Right.
Now, it seemed like that was the pinnacle, and that was as far as it was going to go.
That may have been what it seemed, but that was never in our minds. One of the points I wanted to make today, Jim, was just because we announce a major indictment against one of these criminal organizations does not mean we're finished with them. And the best example of that is what we just did on the Imperial gangsters. You're correct. We announced the big indictment over at the East Chicago Police Department with Chief Flores back in November. But if people thought, or if some of the other Imperial gangsters out there thought that we were done, they were wrong, because we've continued to investigate them, and that resulted in the indictment last week of 3 more Imperial gangsters. So we've included those 3 in the major indictment. We solved several more homicides, and my message is we're going to continue to do this. I doubt that there's too many of these gang members listening this morning. Maybe there are.
Their lawyers are.
Yeah, but if they're, especially to these younger kids who are thinking about it, if there's family members listening or things like that, keep them away from these criminal organizations, because we are going to come after them. When we get them, number 1, they are not going to get bond, and number 2, if we convict them, they are going to get a significant federal sentence, of which they do at least 85% of their sentence. So the reality is, when we get you, you're done. You're off the streets. Your family is not going to see you anymore. And we are going to keep the pressure on these criminal organizations.
219-845-1100. I'll go with Lee on line 6. Hi, Lee.
How you doing?
Hello.
Mr. Capp, you mentioned that this is not a municipal problem; it's a regional problem.
Yes, sir.
And up here in Robertsdale, I think it's about 5 years ago, we had a double homicide, and if I remember right, I think at least some of the suspects scooted back across the border, and haven't been seen since. What is the U.S. government, Justice Department, or anybody doing about this sanctuary city thing, where we've got, like, the city of Chicago here is that declared sanctuary city, and this border is so porous. We're in the 21st century, and we're running that border like it's 1870, And the drugs, the gangs, the guns are all, going both ways across that border. The Justice Department has even been implicated in actual gun running down around the border. But what if anything, is being done on the part of the federal government now to go after these cities that want to declare themselves a sanctuary city and act as a big magnet for all these drugs and guns?
I'm not sure I understand the question, sir, on sanctuary city.
Well, the Los Angeles, Denver, Chicago, a lot of the major cities in the United States have declared themselves sanctuary cities. The illegal aliens that are caught in these cities are under orders of the local government here are told that the police cannot even question these people as their legal status in the country.
So you're talking about some of the changes in immigration laws and
how it really wasn't a national. It was just a declared thing that some of these cities decided that they're not going to enforce the law, and they're not going to arrest these people if they're not here illegally. They have actually declared themselves sanctuary cities so that it's a safe haven for people that are not here illegally. And you've got the MS-13, you've got the Latin Kings, you've got these gangsters down in northern Mexico there that are operating networks and drug,
All right, you know what? I got the idea there, Lee. Thanks a lot. All right, David?
Yeah, the caller raises some broader issues on immigration policy and things like that. Let me say this. We will enforce the federal laws. That's what we do in the U.S. Attorney's Office. And I'm not sure that this city's a sanctuary city or that city's a sanctuary city. If there are federal laws being violated, whether they're immigration laws, drug laws, gun laws, what have you, we're going to enforce it, period, case closed. That's the reality. What I wanted to highlight, though, was the border between Indiana and Illinois. The caller's right. It's very porous. Crime goes back and forth, and that's something we're really trying to focus on. And again, I reference our working with the Chicago Police Department more and more. And I just see that continuing, at least as long as I'm in the U.S. Attorney's Office. That's going to be one of our focuses.